American, I absolutely love Halloween. Obviously. And I guess it never really dawned on me that it just might not be a big deal in other Western countries. That is until I moved to Australia. So when I first moved to Australia, Halloween was pretty much non-existent. I moved here in December, so I was here for maybe a full year before I got to experience what October's like in Melbourne. And I guess like I come from New England, like I lived in Salem, Massachusetts. It's like the height of spooky season there, you know? It's a big deal. And like, I don't know where it's like in other parts of the US. I can't speak on that because I've only really lived in Massachusetts. And it's just, it honestly is the best. And I always say it, nothing beats New England in the autumn. It's just a vibe. But when I first moved here, I was really excited, obviously. I think I was very ignorant, I think. I was 25 years old and I hadn't really seen much of the world. Typical American, you know what I mean? And so when I moved here, it wasn't even a thought in my head. I never even had thought about the differences. I just was excited to experience life here, you know? But then October came around and I was like, what's happening? I was just like waiting for the vibes to hit and they just didn't hit. Like when I say that, it's like the decorations around, the pumpkins, like just the vibes. I guess that like naturally happens in Massachusetts because it is actually autumn. In October in Australia, it's spring. So the leaves aren't changing colors, things aren't dying, and it's not that like spooky season vibes, just the environment and the atmosphere in this part of the world, it's just not giving that. So off the bat, that's the biggest difference that I noticed when I first moved here. People in general, like no one was talking about Halloween. I feel like in the US, people are talking about Halloween, what are you gonna be for Halloween? Like after New Year's passes, it's like, okay, well, time to work on my Halloween costume. Here, it was just like another day of the week. It was just like another Tuesday. I feel like getting Halloween like decorations, like more than like one or two, you really had to go out of your way to find them, and there wasn't much decorations out there. Like the mainstream grocery store might have put up decorations, but they literally put it up like October 30th, and it was taken down like end of day the 31st on Halloween. Like one of the things I really looked forward to was the candy sales at the grocery stores. It just like doesn't exist. Like it's not a thing. And I'm just like, come on. It's just, the whole vibe's different. 10 years ago, I would rarely see decorations. It would be really hard to get decorations. I would have to go to like a USA specific like store or shop online. And these days, there's definitely more decorations in the store, in our main grocery store, and you can find stuff in like dollar stores. Well, they're $2 stores here, so we call them $2 shops. You can find more Halloween decorations in like $2 stores or the main grocery stores these days, but 10 years ago, it was very sparse. Like it was like you might be able to find a pumpkin somewhere, but your best bet was to go on Amazon. These days they definitely have improved it, which is great to see, but the thing that has not improved is the price of pumpkins here. They are so expensive. I think this year they were $3.50 a kilo, which is a kilo is equivalent to 2 pounds. So like, I don't know, I guess when you think of it, that's like what, $1 something a pound. Like that doesn't sound a lot, but like I don't ever remember paying like $35, $40, $50 for a pumpkin when I go to a pumpkin patch. And like this year, when I saw them in the grocery store, they don't even look cute. They like said they're, I don't know, they tried to like market it like they're spooky, but it just looks like they're rotting. And I'm just like, I don't want that. I stopped carving pumpkins when I moved here just because it's so expensive. I know now the US prices are like insane. Like I just got back from a trip to the US visiting my family, and the prices were like equal to the prices here in Melbourne, if not more. Like deodorant was like $8, $9. And that's what it is here, but that's Australian dollars. So yeah, that was like the biggest thing I noticed, was that like inflation has hit the US so hard. Like inflation has hit us here, but I just feel like I really saw the difference from my last trip to the US, which was 4 years ago, to this recent trip in 2023. I was like, whoa, like, I don't know how you guys are doing it. I don't know how you guys are doing it. So, also, like, this is my first day filming in literal weeks. I've been working on things on my other channel, and you know, your girl can only keep up with so much. I've been really focusing back on my Instagram game and my other YouTube channel. I'm doing the best that I can, and I just want to remind you that if you're out there and you're feeling like you can't keep up with it all, that just do the best that you can. Pick 1 or 2 things to focus on and do your best. That's all we can do, okay? We are only human. I would love to know, if you are in the US, how much have you seen the pumpkins going for? Did you get a pumpkin this year? How much was it? I don't know if I can justify the price, especially in Australia, because what happens is we're in spring, things are heating up, we're heading into summer, so when you carve a pumpkin and you leave it outside your front door or wherever you're keeping it, the temperature's warm and the pumpkins just, they decay so much quicker, and it's friggin' disgusting. It's friggin' disgusting. One of my friends forgot their pumpkin outside their door for like, oh, I don't even know, like maybe 2 weeks, a week, I don't even know. And literally there was just mold and things growing. It had an ecosystem growing inside the pumpkin. So if you're planning on carving pumpkins in Australia, just make sure you don't keep it out too long. I can't justify it anymore. The older I get, I can't justify it. I don't have kids. I don't want kids. If my nieces and nephews came to visit, that's the only time I would really be able to justify it, because they came all the way to the other side of the world to visit me during Halloween time. Like, but other than that, it kills the mood because they don't even last till Halloween. So normally back home in Massachusetts, we would carve our pumpkins early in October, and you have them to, you know, look at all month, and it's just a fun vibe. Here, they don't last that long, so it's just like you have to do it like the week before Halloween, and they might last till Halloween. It's just not the same, and that's okay because it's a totally different country. They're not meant to be the same. I'm just talking about the differences. That doesn't mean I have to love them, okay? Another thing that is hugely different is the candy variety. I'm trying to find something in my head to compare it to in the US. I just feel like there's so, like, I feel like all the chocolate and candy companies, they hype up around Christmas. Like they come out with all these like big variety packs and all this kind of stuff, and you can get like your big, like, I'm gonna fill my bowl with candy kind of bags. Here, they just have the normal candy that they have year round. Like there's no like the king size bars. There's no like, it's just like, oh, here's the candy that you can get any other time of year, but let's put a pumpkin on the bag. And even then, they didn't even do that. I don't even know if they've done that. They like have everything in fun size. So like Snickers, fun size, like, which we do have, but we have that during the year. Like, I don't even know. You know the bags that have like Snickers, Kit Kats, this, that, like the combo bags. Like those don't really exist here. Mars bars, Snickers, and a something else combo pack. But you can get that any time of the year, I feel like. And so, I don't know. And it's just, there's no real variety. It's just the same candies that you get. And then there's no like end of the Halloween, like everything goes on special. I was just at the grocery store and I saw that they had like some of the chocolate was on special, but it's not like that big Halloween like discount. And I don't know, they might not do that in the US anymore. Like we might have been living the good old days back then, but I just feel like around Halloween I would be so excited to like pick what I was going to have in my candy bowl that year. And it was just like, it was like a whole thing. It was like, you know, I just feel like a lot of other companies would come in and make little like fun size, like Halloween sized versions of their normal candies. And that just doesn't really happen here. Like people, no one's going out of their way to make like Halloween versions of their stuff. Ooh, a good example. You know, like Mike and Ike's. Mike and Ike's you can get year round, but I feel like around Halloween, like you can get them in the little bags. So you have the little like individual bags that you can give out. Stuff like that. Like they don't do that here. They don't do that here. It's sad. Like, I just feel like there's such an opportunity because there's like so many different flavors of Kit Kats here, and it's the best thing ever. It was like one of the most amazing things that I discovered when I moved here. They have crispy M&Ms here, and when I moved here, they had discontinued them in the US. I just lost my shit when I was like, you guys still have crispy M&Ms? Oh my god. And so that does make my heart happy, and I will give Australia that. But I just feel like there's so much opportunity here for them to do fun things with the candy, but they just don't care, and it's just the vibe here. It's just like not that big of a deal. Again, the decorations, there's like one little section in the grocery store, which is way bigger than what it was 10 years ago, but it's still depressing. It's pretty sad. Like, I mean, it's nothing impressive. And the same in like the $2 stores. It's tiny. I will say that Kmart has really stepped up their game. The grocery store decorations, they definitely have more of them. They're just like basic bitch energy decorations. Like, just like this is basic, but it's cute. You know, the pumpkins, like, I don't know, it might just be me and like I'm from Massachusetts. Let me know if you can relate to this, but like, this is a cute pumpkin decoration. This is cute. Like, the face is cute. They've put effort into this. Like, you know the ones that's just like two black eyes? Like, it just looks so simple. Like, it's for kids. Like, this is like a step up. This is like elegant. That like, they don't even put in the effort to make the teeth. It's just like a black open mouth, and I'm just like, come on, mate. Like, this looks like it's for a kid. Like, a kid's not gonna care, but like, if I'm paying my hard-earned money on a pumpkin mug, I want it to look cute.
I need to calm down. I seriously need to calm down.
You know what I mean? If you are someone that's into like the Halloween decorations, there are levels to it. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the decorations are just half-assed and feel like they're just made for 5-year-olds. But that makes sense because in Australia, like, it's not really an adult holiday. A lot of the adults just view it as a holiday for the kids. So that does make sense, I guess, if they're marketing these decorations to children. But in the US, I feel like they really capitalize on, let's make this for the adults too, because they're the ones that have the money. You know what I mean? And it's just like, if you start making stuff for me, I'm gonna buy it. But like, you're making it for a 5-year-old and it looks ugly and I don't want it in my house. Okay? But there's also this stigma like, ooh, that's an American holiday. We don't do that here. So I've seen both. I feel like there's people that really want to get around it, or that love their kids doing it. And then there's the people that are like,
America, we want to hate on everything America does, even if it's kind of fun.
You know, that kind of vibe. I'm like, just let the kids have fun. Let them dress up. Like, make yourself an apple cider and calm down. Adults just don't get around Halloween in Australia like they do in the US. Like, it's such a big deal. There's so many Halloween parties. It's like, what Halloween party are you going to? The bars, like, get around it, and there's Halloween themed everything. Like, at least in Massachusetts, like, again, I can't speak on other states in the US. Like, but I do know that, especially like a lot of the East Coast states that I know, like, I went to school in New York, and it was still pretty big there. But I haven't really gotten dressed up for Halloween in such a long time, and it's a little sad. It really is. But it was so fun. It was so fun just like planning the little details and like doing the months of research to find the accessories to go with it, and like making your own costume. It's like a whole event. Ugh, it's so fun. And I don't know, I guess the adults here, it's hard for you to get into something when it wasn't really like big for you growing up. It wasn't really a thing growing up. So you have no like nostalgic attachment to it. So I do get that, because for me, I have such vivid nostalgic memories when it comes to Halloween growing up. And you know, me and my brothers and sister, we used to just collect our candy in pillowcases. My parents just gave us a pillowcase, and that's what we collected our candy in. We didn't get these fancy buckets, and so at the end of the night we would come home, be on the living room floor, and we would pour all our candy out on the floor out of our pillowcases into piles, and we would divvy up the piles. Like, this was the pile of all the things I was like my favorite, no one's touching this, and then there was a pile of stuff like you didn't really love and you were willing to barter with, and then we would just like, I'll trade you a Kit Kat for Skittles or whatever, you know what I mean? And I walked away with so many Kit Kats, let me tell you. I don't know, obviously that nostalgic piece of it like is always going to be a part of me. Thing is, Australians are really big into dress ups. That's the thing. But they do it all year round. They do it for like dress up themed birthdays. A lot of the sports clubs here, they'll do like a dress up theme end of the year bash. Like, so I feel like instead of Halloween, it's kind of like you just dress up for random things throughout the year, for random occasions, for random whatever it is. So I do think that Australians do get around like dressing up kind of culture and like dressing up for a party, like in a costume. Halloween is not one of them, which is so weird because I'm like, you guys love doing this, but like when it's Halloween, you're like,
so American.
From 10 years ago to now, so many more adult Australians have gotten into the Halloween spirit, and I'm just saying, I love to see it. I love to see it. Maybe you don't love to see it, maybe you don't care, but me, I love to see it. So keep it up, Australia. What I really need is for corporate Australia to get around Halloween. Okay? Because once they start doing it, it will pick up, because then we'll have all the cute aesthetic pumpkins, you know, like the rose gold pumpkins and like the aesthetic side, the home decor, like the home decor stores in the US during Halloween and Christmas. I can't. I'm just like, load up the truck because this is all coming home with me. Here, it's just like all like plasticky decorations. There's nothing that's going to like, this is part of my home decor for years and years to come, and I put this in a box and it gets taken out every year kind of Halloween decorations. For me, I always get really, really homesick this time of year just because New England in the autumn, it's just nothing beats it. It's a whole vibe. My birthday's in December. There's Thanksgiving. It's a lot of family time, food, and just like seasonal kind of pumpkin spice, pumpkin beer, you know, just like hot chocolate season. I just miss it. And when I see everyone living it, but it's spring here, it's a bittersweet feeling because I'm finally leaving the winter season and I prefer the warmer weather. So I'm excited about that, but I'm also like, my heartstrings are being tugged on. Every time I see someone apple picking or drinking a pumpkin spice with the leaves on the ground, and I'm just like, bah. Because like autumn here isn't that either. Like the leaves fall, it's cold, and like I cook a lot in my slow cooker. Like I do what I can to make the vibes what I want them to be, but at the same time, it's just different. And I mean, I don't know what you expect. You can't expect to move to another country and have everything be the same. That's the beautiful thing about all the different countries in the world. But that doesn't mean that you don't have these things that you've grown up with, that you've known and loved your whole life. And the homesickness just kicks in. And I just feel like it's a natural part of living in another country that your heart just gets torn in so many directions. And I feel like October, November, December, those months really pull on my heartstrings just a little more than normal. So yeah, I hope you like this video. Let me know what Halloween's like where you live. Are you someone that is like all for Halloween? Do you get dressed up? If you are getting dressed up this year, you need to let me know what you are going to be. I would love to hear it. It would just make my heart so happy. I would love to hear like what was the best costume you've ever seen. I would love to hear like all the spooky things. If you're not a Halloween person, I would love to hear why you're not a Halloween person and what can I do to change your mind on this. No, I'm just kidding. Like if it's not for you, it's not for you, but it's definitely for me. With that, thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing. If you want more videos like this, I'm gonna be speaking more on my experience living in Australia. I hope to see you tuning in to another video soon. Bye!